If you're a freelance web designer or you own a design agency and you're looking for a way to create complex and cutting-edge websites, then I have good news for you. Wix has recently launched its newest platform called Wix Studio, which allows you to build responsive websites with advanced interactions without writing a single line of code. In this video, I'll walk you through the ins and outs of Wix Studio. We'll dive into its intuitive user interface and harness the power of its advanced AI tools. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge to build a responsive site for any client in just a few clicks. Alright, here we are in the Wix Studio editor. Right here in the middle, you can see your canvas, and by default, you'll see one header with this logo and this menu item right here, and also you'll see this footer as well, and in the middle there is a default section which is empty. Right at the top you'll see the toolbar. On the left side you'll see this menu which allows you to go to the dashboard, and right next to it you'll see this drop down menu that lists all your project's pages. At the moment we'll see only this home page because we didn't create any other pages, but as you add more pages to your project you'll be able to switch between different pages right here. Alright, right in the middle of the toolbar you will see these little icons. These icons allow us to switch to different breakpoints. So here, as you can see, by default we are in the desktop breakpoint, then we have the tablet breakpoint and the mobile breakpoint as well. And that's basically how we can preview our project on different screen sizes to make sure that everything looks good on different devices. We'll talk about these breakpoints in detail later. On the right side, you'll see this eye icon. If you just click on it, you can preview your project. And if you hit this edit site, you can get back to the editor and continue editing your project. And finally, you'll see this publish button, which allows you to publish your project. If you hit this button, this window pops up and it allows you to either connect your own custom domain to this project, or you can get a free Wix Studio domain. By default, it's selected. You can save and continue, and your project will be published. Right here on the left side, we have a few different panels. The first one is the Add Elements panel. Here you can find some important elements like the building blocks of your project, such as an image, a text layer, a paragraph, a button, etc. Or you can head over to Assets, and here you'll see all your saved assets. Then we have sections. Here there are some pre-built sections. You can go ahead and use them in your project. You can customize them and see how they are built. Here we have navigation, we have different headers, footers, etc. We have containers, text, layout tools, buttons, menu and search, etc. Then we have the layers panel. Here is where you'll see all your layers, and you can basically check the structure of your page, just like what you see in design tools like Figma. As you can see here, we have this home page, and inside we have this header component. And then we have this section which is empty, and finally we have this footer. Then we have the pages panel. Here is where you'll see all your pages. At the moment we have only one page, the home page. You can hit this plus icon to add more pages to your project. I can hit add and just name this new page. I'm gonna name it contact, just like this. Now I have two different pages. Then we have this panel, global sections. Here is where you'll see your reusable components, your reusable elements, okay? For example, when you have a header that you're gonna use on all your pages, or a footer, doesn't matter. You can store multiple elements here. It doesn't matter what it is. You can just store them here, just save them as a specific section, as a specific component, and just reuse them. And once you make changes to one of these global sections, that change will be applied to all its instances on other pages. Next, we have the styles panel. Here's where you'll save all your typography and color styles, okay? You can create your design system basically here. You can go ahead and just create your own color palettes, or just edit these existing color palettes. Then we have the app market panel. Here you can look for some available Wix Studio apps that you can connect to your project. And it basically allows you to add more functionalities, more complex functionalities to your project, which is so cool. And then we have this CMS panel. Here is where you can create different collections of content, and then you can populate these content automatically to different elements of your page dynamically. And then we have this code panel, which basically allows you to create custom solutions for a project, okay? If you cannot get it done using the Wix Studio's native features, that's fine. If you are a developer, you can just head over to this panel and hit start coding, and then you'll be able to write some code and add more functionalities to this project. And that's awesome. This is a very unique feature. All right, now let's talk about the inspector. Once you select an element, it doesn't matter what kind of element it is. It could be a section, it could be an image, it could be a text. On the right side, you'll see this inspector. Right now, we are in the design inspector, and here is where you can control different properties of that selected element. It could be the size, it could be the responsive behavior, the color, it could be the layout, the position, margin, etc. Just like what you see in design tools like Figma. Right next to the design panel, we have this interactions panel as well, which allows you to add interactions to your project. You can create complex interactions like scroll, hover, etc. right here. All right, now that you're familiar with the Wix Studio's interface, let's go ahead and create a simple but responsive hero section for a motion design studio. Let's begin. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this default header. I don't really like it. So I'm just going to select it and hit delete on my keyboard or backspace to remove that. And then I'm going to head over to add elements. And from here, I'm going to head over to sections. And right here, you'll see we have this navigation category, and I'm going to click on headers, and I'm going to choose one of these pre-built headers. I really like this one, so let's just drag it and just drop it inside. As simple as that. All right, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and change this business name, okay? Let's name this Motion Design Studio Circle, and then I'm just going to double click to select this particular container and just change its color because I don't really like it. So from here, I'm gonna choose maybe this one. I think it looks good. And now if you want to add another menu item here, it's so simple. We just need to select it. If I just go to the layers panel, you will see that we have this particular menu container. And once I select it, I can click on manage menu. And from here, I can add another item to this particular menu container. I'm going to hit add item, and from here I'm just going to click on link, and here I'm going to choose the contact page that we already created. Okay, I'm going to hit done, and as you can see, this one has been added to this menu item. The cool thing about these pre-built elements is that they are responsive by default. So if I head over to the tablet breakpoint here, as you can see, those menu items are gone and they are replaced with this hamburger menu icon, which is cool. So you don't need to worry about responsiveness. Our navbar is ready. Now let's head over to the hero section. So here we have this empty section, and what I'm going to do is divide it into two sections. So I'm going to get two columns, okay? Once I select it, I'll see these options. These are some pre-built layouts. So I'm going to click on this one. Here we have two different containers. And if you need two sections inside this box, you can just select it and just click on this one or this one. You can split it either horizontally or vertically. But for now, I'm not going to do that. I just want two boxes sitting right next to each other, just like what we see here. On the left side, I'm going to put a header, a description, and a contact us button. That's going to be our CTA button. And on the right side, I'm going to put a footage. So let's start by adding the content to the left box, okay? What I'm going to do is head over to the add elements panel. And from here, I'm going to head over to text. And right here, we have these headings. We have H1, H2, all the way down to H6. I'm going to drag and drop this heading 1 here. And then I'm just going to decrease its font size. I'm going to decrease it to maybe 48. Don't worry about the text, we will adjust it. Right underneath, we need to have a description, right? So I'm gonna need a paragraph element. So I'm gonna head over to this add elements panel. And from here, I'm gonna drag and drop this paragraph element. and put it right below our heading. Okay, and right underneath, I'm gonna place a button. So from here, I'm gonna head over to buttons, and I'm gonna add this basic solid button, this contain button. Let's place it right here. All right, before I forget, let me go ahead and change the text of this button. To change the text, you can just select this button and hit change text. And here, I'm gonna change it to contact us. And now we need to somehow group them. If I head over to the layers panel, you will see that they are not grouped. Just like what we do in Figma using auto layout, we can select these elements. I'm gonna hold down the shift key on my keyboard and just click on them one by one. And then we need to hit this stack button to create a stack. As soon as I do that, a stack is created and you can adjust the direction. You can set it to either vertical or horizontal. It should be vertical, obviously, here. And if you want to unstack them, you can just click on unstack. But why did I do that? Because I want to be able to control the spacing between these elements. Here, I'm going to set the spacing to 16 pixels. Here, I'm going to set it to 24, just like this. Next, I'm going to select this description and just make it a little bit longer, like that. And now it's time to change the content. Let's start with our headline. But I haven't prepared any headline for this particular project. Well, there is nothing to worry about because we can use AI to create this headline. Here, if I select this text and I just hit create AI text, this window pops up and it allows us to create a headline using AI. Here, I'm going to specify the business type. It's going to be motion design studio, and the business name is going to be circle. The text type is going to be title, and here, what's the topic of this text? Let's say welcome. I'm going to hit create text, and let's see what we are going to get. All right, here we've got three different options: experience motion design like never before, bring your stories to life with circle, and unleash your imagination with circle's motion design. I'm going to go with this one. I'm just going to click on use text. The text has been applied to this particular element. Cool. What about this description? Again, I'm going to select it, hit create AI text, but this time make sure that the text type is set to paragraph, not title. And here I'm going to change the topic to maybe service description. Here I can specify the service name, motion design. And I'm going to hit create text. All right, this one looks good. It's too long. We are going to adjust it. I'm going to hit use text, just like this. And I'm just going to get rid of a few sentences here. Maybe from here to here, let's remove that. And I'm quite happy with the content on the left side. I'm just going to select this headline and just decrease its width a little bit, like that. Here as well. Okay, it looks much better now. All right, now I'm going to select this stack, make sure that the stack is selected here, and then I'm just going to align it vertically, just like this. You can align it horizontally as well, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to adjust the left padding of this section to make sure that this stack is aligned perfectly with my nav bar. Here, if I select this nav bar and I head over to the position section, you'll see that the left and right padding are set to 3%. So what I'm going to do is select this box, okay, this box, not the stack. And here I'm going to set the left padding to 3%. And as you can see, our content has been pushed to the right side, and that's exactly what we needed. All right, cool. Our left container is ready. Now let's move on to the right container. Here, as I said, I'm going to add a footage. So I'm going to select this box, and as soon as I do that, I'll see these options. I'm going to click on add media, and this window pops up. Here is where you can choose media files. You can either upload your own media files or you can use the Wix library. To be honest with you, this is one of the best libraries I've ever seen in a platform. You can find high quality images or videos or even transparent videos, which is so cool. These are all transparent videos, but I'm going to head over to videos, and here I'm just going to look for a 3D illustration, okay? I'm going to type 3D, hit enter, and if I just scroll down, I can find this one, which is quite cool, and it makes sense for our project. It's called Objects in Motion. I'm just going to click on it and click on Add to Page. And now this video has been added to this box, to the right box. And if I go ahead and preview our project, look what happens. You can preview this video. However, if I just click somewhere, I can pause it. That's not what I want. So let's fix that. If I select this video and I just hit this option, behaviors, I can just adjust these settings. It says, how does it start to play automatically, right? How is it paused? I don't need this pause functionality, so I'm just going to change it to no pause. And now if I preview it once again, I won't be able to pause that anymore. And that's exactly what I want. So now let's see whether our hero section is responsive or not. So here, as you can see, I can just scale it down and all these elements are scaled down proportionately. However, it doesn't make sense for all elements. For this video, it makes sense, but not for the content on the left side. So let's fix that quickly. I'm going to hit Edit Site and let's head over to the Design Inspector. And from here, I'm going to head over to the responsive behavior. By default, it's set to scale proportionately, and that's why all these elements were scaled down proportionately. I'm just going to change it to wrap. And I'm going to do the same thing for the description for this paragraph. Select it and change it to wrap as well, like this. Now let's preview it once again. As you can see, it looks much better now. Let me quickly change the color of this description as well. Here, our headline is black. I'm going to select this description and just use a lighter shade, maybe this one, like this, to have a better visual hierarchy. And our CTA looks good. But what about other breakpoints? Because right now we are previewing the desktop breakpoint and everything looks good. However, if I head over to tablet, you'll see that it doesn't look good. And if I go to mobile, the same scenario. So let's fix that. Let's see how we can fix it. Well, if I select this section, our hero section, this one, and I head over to the layout section of the design inspector, you'll see here we have columns, right? And that's why they are sitting next to each other. So for the tablet and mobile breakpoints, since we don't have that much space, it makes sense to have rows instead of columns. So here I'm going to change the layout from columns to rows like this. And now, as you can see, they are sitting on top of each other. Now I'm going to increase the height of this section like this. And if you want to get an equal height for these two boxes inside your section, once your section is selected, you can just click on this option, equalize horizontally, just like this. And now you'll get equal containers within your section. All right, let's see what else should be fixed. Here, if I select this stack in the tablet breakpoint, you will see that our spacing has been changed. And that's because we are in a smaller breakpoint. So let's fix that quickly. I'm going to set it to 16 and 24. And the other issue we have is this text size. It has been scaled down, so let's fix that. I'm going to head over to desktop, and from here, I'm going to select this contact us button. And right here in the responsive behavior, as you can see, it's set to scale proportionately. I'm going to change it to relative width like this. And now it should be fixed. Yes, everything looks good. Let's check the responsiveness. Okay, cool. What about the mobile breakpoint? Well, changes you make to each breakpoint will cascade down to smaller breakpoints, okay? So once you make a change to the layout or to the size of an element on this tablet breakpoint, this change will be reflected in the mobile breakpoint as well, just like this. If I head over to mobile, you'll see that the layout of our section has been changed. However, we need to go ahead and manually adjust the font size of our text layer. So I'm going to select this headline and I'm just going to decrease the font size to maybe 40. And I'm going to increase the width of this button like this. But here we have another problem. As you can see, this stack doesn't take up the whole available width within this container, okay? On mobile, we don't have that much space, so we need to make sure that we use space efficiently. So let's fix that. I'm going to select this stack here, And I'm going to click on this little icon, this dot icon in the size section. And here you'll see this option, advanced sizing. If I just toggle it on, I'll be able to adjust these properties. These are some advanced properties. And here, as you can see, the width is set to 74.4%. I'm just going to change it to 100%, so it takes up the whole available width within its parent container. Now let me align it. And now what we need to do is add some breathing room around our content, okay, to let our content breathe, because at the moment we don't have any padding around it except this tiny little padding here. So I'm going to select this section, okay, and I'm going to head over to the position, and what I'm going to do is add a 3% right padding to it as well. So I'm going to change it to 3%. But what about here and here? Well, let's add a 10% top and a 10% bottom padding as well. Okay, cool. As you can see, now it looks much better. We have some white space around our content, but I'm not happy with the height of this footage. So I'm going to select this particular cell and I'm just going to increase its height. Okay, I can also select this section and just head over to the layout section and just click on equalize horizontally, just like that. And I think now we are ready to preview our project. As you can see, we have a fully responsive hero section. And once you're done with your project, you can hit this publish button and you'll be able to preview your project using this domain, or you can add a custom domain to your project if you are building a website for a client. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more design tutorials. Have a great day and see you next time.